and welcome back to the Community HOPEcast, a podcast brought to you by Hope Community Services. We are back today with some familiar faces, and today we're bringing you another Spill the Tea segment. So for today's topic, we're talking about healthy mind, healthy body.
Yep.
You know, I don't know if you guys really think about often the way that your physical health and your mental well-being interconnect. Mm-hmm. Maybe you think about it, perhaps?
I do think about it. And not sure if it's, that the chicken or the egg theory, like whatever comes first.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad we have this topic. So later on we would dive into it. But first of all, let's do some introduction.
Yeah. I'm your host for today, Jane.
I'm Christina. I'm the social media manager.
Sure. This is Tree. I'm a content strategist and a program assistant.
Nice.
meeting you.
I'm just the host for today. We'll leave it at that.
Cool.
All right. So, yeah, when we think about the relationship between our mental health and our physical health, mind and body, we are thinking about, a variety of ways. It's a two-way street, and you were saying a chicken or egg situation. Right. We don't really know which comes first, right. But there's a lot of things, right? Physical health, the way that we eat, our activity level. Now in this day and age, we're office workers, so
sure.
we have a lot of days sat at our desk for long hours. And then when we think about a healthy mind, our mental well-being, that's a lot of things. Mental health and everything is kind of the root of this podcast series, this segment. So many things, a variety of like coping mechanisms, how you...
Time for yourself.
Yep. So many things.
Yep.
But just to dive into it, what is your current relationship right now between your mind and your body? Just some of the first things that you kind of think about.
The relationship between my mind and my body. I think it's relatively healthy, the relationship. I do, compared to 3.5, 4 years ago, it is a lot more healthy than what it was. I focus a lot more on just the small things that help my mental health, first of all. For physical health, 4 times a week, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh.
Yeah.
At a local spot right here?
At a local spot in Westminster.
Nice.
Been doing it for almost 3 years now. So
wow.
that's something that's helped with the physical. Mental, definitely something that we need to talk about, right?
Yeah. I mean, we all do a little physical activity, right? So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then...
Oh, I do archery.
Archery. Okay. I also try to. I just do cardio like every day on a daily basis. But I think when we talk about physical exercise and keeping our activity levels up, I think that it definitely affects our mental health. At least when you're doing it in the moment. I know it's like when you get into it when you first start, it can be difficult, right?
Definitely.
And really exhausting and tiring. But once your body adjusts, you build up your strength. There's also this feeling of wellness in your mind.
Sure.
This feeling of, I guess part of it is also the chemical, endorphins?
Endorphins that release, yeah.
Yeah.
For runners, there's a thing called the runner's high.
Oh,
I don't know about you ladies, but I cannot stand running. Do you like to run?
Cardio? My cardio is treadmill and Stairmaster every day.
Okay.
So it was definitely really hard at first, but it's gotten better. Yeah, I can kind of see how people can just continue to run long distance like that.
Right.
So, not that I have the time of day to be on there for ages and ages.
Let me ask you, you said you do every single day?
Yeah, I try to.
That's great. And how many hours a day? How many minutes a day?
For peak efficiency, I do 30 minutes treadmill and then 30 minutes Stairmaster.
And then you do it at home or at the gym?
No, I do it at the gym.
That's great.
On days I don't, I do the Nintendo Ring Fit.
What is that?
It's like a exercise video game.
Yeah, you know the Nintendo Switch?
In case you guys didn't know, there's a bit of a age difference around here. But yeah, so that's good. So
the Nintendo Switch has a game that's kind of like fitness.
Oh, I play that. I play tennis and bowling on there.
Oh no, it's different. You like
different. That's
you like defeat monsters by exercising.
Yeah, that's like the Nintendo Sports, from the Wii Sports.
Okay, the Wii Sport. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. But the Nintendo Switch, their newest console, they have a game that's more physical activity, like specifically things like yoga or like leg exercises.
It actually works.
core exercises like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I had a cousin back in the day. He lost like 30 pounds from playing Dance Revolution. You remember that game?
Yeah, I love that game.
That is such a great game to play at home. I
Yeah.
remember that. And so gaming do works. There you go.
Yeah.
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 What about you, Christina? Like, what is your routine daily? That you practice archery in the collegiate level, right? What is your routine, and how do you get in the zone?
How do I get in the zone for archery? Let's see. So like, I don't necessarily count like archery for like all my exercise, because it's like, I mean, I do go to the gym and everything, and like I do dance, but like I think archery is very mental for me, and ever since I started it actually improved my mental health a lot. It's gotten me to focus on like my anxiety and everything. I think for the first time like ever, this is something that's really changed the game for me. Because like I used to play the flute for like over a decade, and I would still get like anxious and nervous, when performing. But like I don't know, archery is just different. It's a whole different mindset from other things that I've done in my life, and yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoy it.
Is it the aspect of concentration and focus required?
I think so, because it's like, especially with like my division, I have to be really consistent all the time. Whereas like the other divisions, there is room for, there's room for error, But for me, for my division, because I don't have all like the other tools added on my setup, I have to really lock in and focus.
Yeah.
You mentioned something very interesting. I want to elaborate on. You said doing archery help with your mental health, right? So, and I definitely know archery require a lot of physical health as well to draw the bows back. And so, does the relationship between your mental health and physical health, does it dictate the result of your, let's say, your competition?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I feel like I was in a really bad place in my life when I started archery, and I didn't think it would change my life this much. And so ever since then, I've been more not just like mentally active, but physically active. Like I was going outside a lot. I don't go outside a lot. So I was like going out to the range every single day, and because I shoot such a high poundage, I've been eating a lot healthier and being more mindful of like what I do to my body just so I can perform well, because it's like for someone who starts out, 12 to 14 pounds is where you start out, and then it's ideal that you do no more than 4 pounds more per year, and so the fact that I'm already shooting at like 38, 40 pounds at my level, which is pretty intense. But I been using this to take care of myself more. I didn't realize how little I've been taking care of my body, but when I started this, I was like, oh, not only is it helping my mental health, I need to actually improve my physical health as well to be able to do both.
Okay, great. Yeah. Awesome.
When you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is it also a matter of really focusing in on the activity or whatever exercise you're doing? Or what mental state is that when you're...
Definitely you have to be in a calm mental state, right? Because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, if you guys don't know, it's more of a grappling sport where you actually wrestle each other. So there's a fun meme out there saying that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the art of folding clothes when the person is still wearing it.
Okay.
Right? And or it's like solving a Rubik's Cube underwater. And it's I can attest to that, because my first day in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was dying. I was 200 pounds. And I was getting choked out by a 13-year-old girl. And that's the brilliant and the beauty of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's all about, the technique and the breathing, rather than just all depend on the physical health, and that's what draws me to it. But definitely a very calm mental state. Otherwise, you'll be hyperventilating and you gas out before you get a chance to be choked out.
I guess it's interesting hearing you guys both talk about your exercise of choice, because I'm thinking about it now, and when I do cardio, for example, I'm always doing something else in the middle of it
Okay.
to not focus on it.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
Which is kind of different from you guys, because then you guys, it feels like you're closer to a meditative state when you focus and lock in when you're doing your activity.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like people think I didn't, because it's like my officially first sport. You know, I used to do marching band, but like people would say it's like not a
Yeah.
sport. It is a sport.
It is a sport.
It is a sport in me, but I feel like with archery, it really is all mental. You know, like of course you need the physical strength, but it's like if your mental game is not up there, any little thing like someone distracting you or like. You're just having a bad day, like it really can take you down from like goal to like from goal to not placing at all. You know, it's so minuscule, but it matters a lot.
We've been talking a lot about our physical health and how it affects our mental well-being as well. Do you think that for both of you guys, is both kind of relatively healthy right now, or do you feel like one is healthier than the other, your mental or your physical?
I feel like right now my mental health has been declining, you know, because I've just been busy a lot. But I feel like because my mental health has been bad, my physical health has gone down as well. But also I feel like comparing myself to how I was years ago, it's definitely a lot better, even though I am like on the downslope right now. It's because of like the way I talk to myself and the way I treat myself, you know. It's like little things like I'm not constantly putting myself down anymore, you know. And it's like if you you know, like you are your own biggest supporter. So it's like if you constantly put yourself down, if you constantly feed yourself all these like negative things, then ultimately it just brings you down, you know. So little things like over the years I've done is like you know, like I grew up with like an almond mom, you know, so it's like, so I would like little things like I have changed the vocabulary in my, I've changed my own vocabulary, for example. Like I no longer say the words skinny or fat, you know, because like both of it has negative connotations. And even with my friends who are on like the opposite spectrum as me, like those things are very detrimental to our mental health. So like over like the past like 4 or 5 years, I've actually changed those words. So I would say like thinner or bigger or thicker, you know. So it's like
That's good.
little things like that have really improved my mental health, because it's like these words don't have negative connotations to me, you know. And it's like I've even told people like, oh, don't call yourself like fat, for example, because you know you're putting yourself down by calling yourself that, you know. Just say you have a bigger body. And yeah.
Right.
As someone who is older than us, kind of, you know, we grew up Vietnamese American families whose aunties and grandparents, they throw around, you know, the body image terms, whatever, kind of recklessly.
Very recklessly, to say the least.
Did you feel, you know, obligated to correct those characteristics, or just the way that you talk about those things, especially now since you also have children of your own?
I definitely want to change that, right? Because as I mentioned in the beginning, there are times when I was 200 pounds, right? So I was big. I'm 165 now. So there are aunties, right? Friends and family who throw out, you know, I'm sure they don't mean any harm, but like, you know, oh, why are you guys so big? Or like, been eating a lot, huh? You know, kind of questions like that, nonchalant questions like that. But at that time when you're big, like what you mentioned earlier, when your mental state is in a low vibration, right? And you use those words again, you know, towards yourself.
The negative self-talk.
The negative self-talk. Then your body, your mind, just like, hey, okay, so you want to be fat, huh? You want to be like, I'll just continue to feed you those negative thoughts, right? One of the friend that I had a long time ago gave me the best advice that I think: replace one negative thought with 5 positive thoughts. So like when you say, for example, I'm not good enough, right? You replace it with I'm trying, I'm making progress, I'm better than myself yesterday. So you need 5 positive to counter 1 negative. So when you keep thinking of the positive, that you start seeing there are so many positive things
Yeah.
in your life, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That you never thought of, and that's contribute to your better mental health.
Yeah, it really
Right.
does make a difference.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that something that you also do kind of on the regular? To
I do, and I also do word of affirmation for my kid when they sleep. So in Vietnamese, of course, like for both of them, I would say, cái thiên, cái tâm khỏe, cái tâm vui vẻ, cái tâm thông minh, cái tâm. So I say that to them all the time, and then they repeat it like 2 years later, right? So because I'm trying to equip them with as much positive words so that later in they're gonna go to school, they're gonna hear things, and then hopefully they will remember those words.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Question for you, Jane. You said that you have a very rigorous workout routine daily, right? Are there days that you're like, oh man, I don't want to do it, and how do you overcome that?
I mean, first and foremost, after I leave work, I take a 30-minute car nap before I even dare go into the gym.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely tiring. I think part of the motive behind why I go to the gym regularly like this is because I live in constant fear of my physical health.
Okay.
Because I believe I'm already disadvantaged by genetics.
Okay.
According to my physical annuals, at least my annual physical results are always, oh, are you eating okay? Why is this, you're a little close to the red in certain panels. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know how much better it can get. Maybe it's just genetics at this point. So I definitely think it's not the easiest to go and exercise like every day like this.
Okay.
That's probably why when I do go to the gym, when I'm on the treadmill or when I'm on the Stairmaster or anything, I find a way to do something else to get my mind off of it, to pass the time.
Okay.
So, for example, when I'm on the treadmill, I always have a podcast episode or longer cooking videos on.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Or when I'm on like the Stairmaster, I actually am just playing games.
So you went straight from work to the gym?
Yeah.
That's great.
And then I take a 30-minute nap in the parking lot.
That's great. So that's the point I was trying to get at. There are things that you do to kind of bring yourself a step closer to success. In this case, getting to the gym and work. You do that by, prepping your gym gear, gym bag the night before, put it in your car, right? So that way, when you get home from work, I have to go home and get dressed, and then things happen. You turn on the TV or you fall asleep in your bed,
Yeah.
right?
I've only been really consistent with it within the past year.
Okay.
Before this, I was a bit less consistent with it.
Okay.
So definitely when I first started trying to get into the routine, it was hard. But now, now that the routine is established,
Okay.
it's at least half as easy as it was before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in relation to the healthy mind, healthy body, have you ever go to the gym, did all your session, and went and then go home and like, darn it, I regret going to the gym? Ever happened to you?
No, I don't think I've ever regretted.
Okay.
I think definitely one of the benefits is that at the end of the day now, right?
Uh-huh.
Even if I'm not in the best condition that I'll ever be, like for example, maybe I was slimmer or more fit when I was younger or something, but now at the end of the day, I know that I'm doing the regular exercise, getting, that activity level in every day.
Right.
As best as I can, and I'm maintaining my health and physical health as best I can for, what I have time available now. And just knowing that does make me feel better at the end of the
There you
day,
go.
right?
There you
Because
go.
I could have just not gone.
Yeah.
I could have just gone home
Yeah.
and just, been inactive.
Yeah.
So,
What about you, Christina? Have you ever? I rode in your car before, and you have like all your archery stuff in the back of your trunk too. So I assume, and you told me that after work you go straight to the range. That's part of your, preparedness and make you one step closer to getting to the range. Make sure you get your reps in. Have you ever gone to the range? It's like, oh man, I wish I didn't go.
I don't think so, because like whenever I go, I just know that even though it's a struggle today, I just know that like later in the end it'll be all worth it.
Right.
The only time I regret going is when it's raining and I didn't pack my rain boots.
Okay.
But no, I think like it's always worth it for me in the end. Knowing that like if I just push myself a little bit now, it'll be better later.
Right. So I think we have something. All three of us have something in common, because same here. Even though there are days I'm like sore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So days I'm like, oh man, I feel like I feel a little chill. I should have stayed home. But when I drag myself to the gym, and after every single session for the past almost 3 years, I'm like, I'm so glad I went.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad I went.
Like in the end, you're better off for it.
I'm better off for it. So I think like we kind of came up with a conclusion that the mind is a little bit more important than the body, right?
I think, for anyone who is struggling with, trying to incorporate more physical activity and find it challenging to do, even just, I don't know, my comfort thing, right, is my pre-gym nap. That is such a big part of
That's cool.
that's such a big part of me getting to the gym too, is that I have my nap and I feel a little bit less tired and more energetic afterwards,
Right.
and I'm ready for the gym.
Right.
Do you have anything that you also do before, or is it just like you just get to the range and it's just willpower? Any little routines?
No, it's just willpower. But honestly, I think whenever on the days that I am struggling, I don't want to go, I always go for a walk. I want like a 10 to 15 minute walk around my apartment.
Good.
And then I get going, because I'm like, oh, if I get up and I'm a little more like active, or if I feel a little more, if I'm feeling anxious about going, then I just take a little breather, and then I do something for myself first, and then I go.
Yeah. Part of having that accountability to go is also having someone who are close to you, like your partner or wife or husband, to kind of give you that push, right? For me, my wife, there are times when she always like, are you going to Brazilian jiu-jitsu? I'm a little sore. You sure? Just go, right? Or like, oh, should I stay home and pick up the kids? No, I'll pick up the kids so you can go. So those are the motivator, the little motivator. Do you guys have someone that kind of give you that push?
Yeah, I think definitely. When I first started archery, it was always like I made friends in the club who were also new like me. Okay. So we always went together, you know. And then now that we're all busier, I think my partner has been my biggest supporter, Sweet. Like he's always encouraging me to go, even when I'm tired, even when I'm depressed or sad. He's always like, oh, but if you go, you'll be happier in the end, because like he knows how much I enjoy it, even if I'm feeling really down, or if like I don't want to like go fill my gas to go there, because I'm like, oh, it's really far now, because I used to live closer to the range. Now I don't. And he'll be like, oh, I'll fill up your gas and then you can go, Awesome. So it's like little things like that.
Awesome. So you brought up an interesting point, because there from point A, which is where we are, to point B, like for you is the range, for you is the gym, for me is there's always little obstacles, right?
Oh yeah.
So the more prepared, or the more that you remove those obstacles ahead of time, the best that you can, the more chance that you can even get to your goal. So I think, like, for example, your partner fill up the gas for you, so there's no more excuse than not to go, right? Yeah. So that's awesome.
It definitely has been easier now that like I work here now, because the range is now 10 minutes away from me, whereas like when I am back in my apartment, it's like a 25-30 minute drive.
Okay.
Yeah. I
would also just love it if we weren't a car-reliant society.
Yep. Yeah.
Then we wouldn't have to drive everywhere for 30 minutes.
Curious, what did you do during COVID when the gyms were closed?
I mean, that's how I got into the Nintendo Switch to begin with. Cool. But then, of course, just being in the same space, if you are trying to do all these other things like work, exercise in the same space that you usually sleep, rest, relax, Over time, it gets really challenging. So I
It
did
does.
slack off at the end.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Because before that, I used to play basketball, and then when COVID happened, of course, all the gym were closed. All the basketball rims at the park was taken down.
Oh,
So
they took them down.
Yeah, they took them down. So I got some weights, right? Some boxing gloves, some punching bag, and hang it up at home. But well, it probably lasted a good month.
Yeah.
And then, like, you're right. When you sleep at the same place, you got locked in at home, and it's just not the same, right?
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. So I was so glad I found Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and here we are.
Yeah, we gotta talk about the commute issues.
Yeah, yeah.
Are there certain things about your mind or your body that you are hoping to improve in the near future?
I think for me, I would like to eat more. Like, I'm so tired and stressed all the time, I forget to eat.
Mm.
So, like, I've been putting alarms on my phone to eat.
Okay.
Sometimes I come home and I fall asleep, and then I wake up and it's like, ring, 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 go eat. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, I forgot to eat today. So then I'll go to the kitchen and start eating.
So eating more like on a timely manner, right?
No, just eating. I just forget to eat.
You don't eat at all? Yeah. I
No,
barely
like
see you eat around here.
yeah, some days I just go without eating.
I find it so hard to not eat, especially when you have regular exercise and activity in your routine.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, it's like, I think for me,
Your stomach is on a natural alarm clock.
no, I think because for me, I'm so like in my head all the time, and I'm so busy. I don't even like feel the physical effects of being hungry, you know. So then it's like my partner would come home, like, "Oh, what'd you eat today?" And I'm like thinking, like, water, maybe a granola bar. And he's like, "Go eat, girl," and I'm like, "Oh,
Dinner.
But no, the alarm clocks have been helping me
That's
a
been
lot
helping.
too.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Well, now you and I can be an alarm clock for her to remind her to eat around here, because I truly never see you eat. So
Well, you know me though. I eat
I know.
and work at the same time, so I'm not a good example either.
No, one time I
Exactly.
brought a meal here and you made fun of it.
What? Oh,
The sauceless pasta.
My buttered noodles.
oh,
You're like,
okay.
oh, the things that my kids eat? Hey, I got up extra early to make that.
We've been talking about physical health a lot. Let me ask you, Jane, what do you do on a daily basis if you do it on a daily basis to improve your mental health?
I think one of the best contributors to my mental health is having a set routine every day.
Okay.
So, go to work, then afterwards the gym.
Okay.
And then in the evenings, my downtime is reading manga,
Okay.
just to have my alone time and
Okay.
be focused in on something.
Sure.
And then, yeah, that takes up most of the day anyway.
Yeah.
So definitely the routine and exercise and having something recreational for me to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What if something happened that throw your routine off? Would your whole night, evening be ruined?
So in what sense? Like something super unexpected, or
Yeah, for
maybe
example,
just like plans with somebody?
Let's say we probably won't talk about having a plan with somebody, because
Yeah.
that's
I would
a known
I would
factor,
just
right?
build my routine and
Right.
get around it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What if, like, let's say, knock on wood, your car break down, right? On the way back from work, and it takes 3 hours to fix, right? And then now you can't go to the gym. You didn't have your nap, which was more important. So like does that like throw you off at all?
The last time something like that unexpected happened, I got in a freeway accident.
Oh, glad you're okay.
I went home, and just dealing with being on the freeway took up the rest of my night anyway.
Uh-huh.
So then I just got home and got tired, sat down on my computer to rot a bit, and then just went to sleep like normal.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I stress much to those kinds of sudden surprises and changes.
Okay.
So I believe I'm relatively calm and I take it as it comes.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
I grew up with a stress, anger, negative emotions doesn't fix anything mindset. Because
Absolutely.
people around me would panic and freak out, and I watched that and thought that's not doing anything.
Right. So you kind of saw, you saw that and you kind of learned from it and prevent yourself from getting to that state. That's good.
I think part of it is definitely good for mental health. At least it takes off some of the stress. But then sometimes I guess it feels like you kind of stew over it in my head sometimes, maybe a lot. But maybe it's that idea of there are some things that are out of your control.
Absolutely.
And if that thought kind of spirals too much that you can't be in control, sometimes that can be a bad thing. But that's kind of it.
No,
Doesn't happen too often.
What about you, Christina? You have any mental health routine?
Mental health routine. I just go home. No, I go to archery, then I go home, and then I take a nap, and then I just watch TV for the rest of the night.
Okay.
Nothing major. I mean,
How about your cats as a
Oh, yeah,
contributor to
yeah.
your
My
mental
cat-
health?
It has to be. You talk about your cats all the time. Can't you believe you forgot about your cats?
because one Pierre keeps me up all night. No, my cats are really great. I love them. They really are like a great de-stressor,
Okay.
But no, other than that, like I think my routine at home was pretty secure. I think after I moved out of my parents' house to come here for school, my mental health has gone up a lot, and having my own space with my partner has been really nice. With my own, with all my own like little trinkets, my decorations, my cats. I think just being in your own space itself has been really great for my mental health.
That's good. Some alone time. Yeah. Great. That's good.
You?
For me,
Yeah, like what is your routine?
I
after
boil
work?
it down to I used to look for, that's kind of like the human thing, right? We want that secret, way for a happy life. But like after a while, I kind of boil it down to a very simple routine, right? So every morning, every night, I practice gratitude and attitude. Yeah. So just be grateful every morning. You wake up grateful for, first of all, able to wake up, right? Being alive, having a breath, and just be thankful for the family, the roof over our head, and things like that. And that goes along with like the positive things that we talked about in the beginning, right? Like you start realizing, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky to have all this. I'm healthy. I'm able to do things I love to do. My kids are healthy. My parents are healthy, and that's it. That's all it is. It sounds so simple, but like I found more success with that rather than before. Before I still meditate, but then, for example, having kids, right? I used to meditate 30 minutes in the morning, but then like having kids, it cut it down to like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, and it's all over the place. And the reason I asked you that, like, what if something happened that breaks out your routine? Right?
Oh, yeah. In my head, I was like, what could possibly
Right.
Yeah.
wreak havoc in my day?
Right.
Not
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So, and then I realized, you know what? Instead of like depending my mental health with like that strict routine, it just I don't have to sit up. I don't have to burn this incense or candle or anything. Just be grateful with what I have. And I find that when I do that consistently, and at night I do it with the kids, it continuously helped my mental state. Yeah. So no matter what happened at work, no matter what happened like in life, like those thoughts keep popping up in my head. Okay, healthy, healthy family, healthy parents, roof over our head, have a good job. That's it. That kind of trumps everything else.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's the bigger things.
Yep, exactly.
And there's something else that you are trying to work on in terms of mental or physical health?
At the moment, I'm very satisfied, to be honest with you. Yeah, because I with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's the physical health aspect. I am already 4 days a week. Maybe later on when the kids are a little older, I want to compete.
Oh.
Right? Because right now, Kaitan, my oldest, she takes a Saturday class with me.
Oh.
Yeah,
how
yeah.
fun.
So like, and then she keep pointing at the medals that we have in the dojo, and it's like, I want one of those. She cried. Like she that girl have like FOMO, like she fear of missing out. Like everything, she wants everything, right? So I want that medal. I'm like, oh shoot, now I have to go get one for you. But yeah, that's something, later on I want to do. But mental health, I think I kind of found my happy place, right?
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Right.
What about you?
Oh, let's see. I think for the most part, I am in a good routine, and most days there's stability. So right now, I don't see too much that I have to go out of my way to change. So for the most part, I think really it's just things like, achieving just future goals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not super related to physical or mental well-being.
Right.
It's it's trying to get a house and
Try to get a
SoCal.
house in SoCal. Ooh. But I know, Christina, you have, out of us three, you actually compete. So they're actually, unless you're just going to compete for fun, there's actually the will to win, like a medal or some sort of prizes, right? So how, like, what will you do differently in the future to help you prepare for your season or, your competition coming up?
Oh, or how long do you have left to compete? How many years?
It's a good point you guys say that because recently I just received an award for archery, but
Congratulations.
thank you. But because I've been going through a lot recently, I was beating myself up about this award because I felt like I didn't deserve it, because I didn't want it, because I was like, like I'm not competing as well as I should be. I can't believe I still got this, even though despite I was shooting bad, and I felt like when they told me I got it, I was kind of ashamed, because I was like, I don't feel like this is my best. I don't want the award for this score, and so I was really down about it for like a few weeks now, and I was contemplating on taking it or not, but like I keep having to remind myself, like despite all my challenges and everything, I still got it, and I should be proud, because my coach was saying like, oh, cause I placed ninth in the whole country for my division, and like, okay, yeah, looking back, it is a big achievement, but
Yeah,
I was,
nice.
because I was like, wow, that is a big deal, ninth in the whole country, that's crazy, but yeah, I was stuck thinking like, oh, I could have done better, like I should have been practicing more, because I was skipping a lot of practice because I was just having a hard time with my teammates and everything, and I didn't want to come back and do that, and so because of that, I didn't perform well, and I was being harassed at my tournament, and it's like next year I was like, oh, next year I'll do better, I'll be more mentally prepared for like harassment from anybody, if there is, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll be in a better mindset to practice more, maybe I can eat more, all these things. But it's like, I just feel like next year, because I only have one more year left in collegiate to compete, and I think next year I want to do better about like being more mindful of like what I've been going through and what my challenges are as opposed to everyone else, because it's like I keep comparing myself to others, being like, oh, like they're so much better than me, like why can't I be at that level? But then it's like, then again, I have to remember that some people only have just school and archery, but I have like work and school and archery and work, and like I live on my own, and like I pay bills and everything. So it's like, I think next year I just want to be at a better place in my mental health to keep competing.
That's great. That's great that you you realize that and you kind of work towards that. You have a goal for your mental health. I think what you had is something we call the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So I had that too when I got promoted to my blue belt, and I actually came to the coach, just, coach, don't give me the blue belt, because like it pretty much it's like giving a target in your back, when you roll around with people, because when you have a blue belt and you kind of have the worst imposter syndrome, I keep thinking like, I'm not good enough, right? There are people who are started after me and still better than me, right? But then I realized, you know what? That's crazy talk, because the person, like, let's say a white belt compared to a blue belt, but the white belt he's like 20-year-old, right? Have no kids, train like 10 times a
Prime
week.
of his life.
Yeah, prime of his life, physical fitness wise, right? And like, I just thought of myself, you know what? You have you're lucky to be training. You're lucky that you have no injury, right, for yourself. You're lucky to place ninth in the whole country. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's quite an achievement. So congratulations on that. And definitely, I'm glad that you realize it's a mental, journey that you need to go on. That's good. Awesome.
I think it's great to have humility and recognize that there are things to improve.
Right.
But at the same time, allowing yourself that break that, it wasn't like you gave yourself this honor or achievement or anything, but you were properly judged by somebody else and got this honor.
The country.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and if you have the time and room to improve in the future and setting those goals for yourself and you want to pursue those as well, like that's great to take that down the road. Yeah.
Awesome.
So now, just to kind of wrap up our conversation here, though we kind of talked about it, but any final thoughts on how you want your relationship with your mind and body to be like in the future?
I think now that we established the fact that the mind is a little bit more important than the body, right? The mind you hear things like mind over body. So your mind kind of drives you to wake up, early to go to the gym, or to not go home, or take the easy way out, but head to the gym, head to the range, head to the dojo. For in my case, so definitely now that we know that the mind is more important. Let's focus on the mind a little bit because we don't talk a lot about it. Maybe later we could have more talks about the mental health aspect of things, like time for yourself, right? The mental routines that you do, the mental winding down, spend time with the cat or watch some TV, podcast, things like that to kind of improve the mind and keep. I think of the mind. You guys know the snow globe?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, snow globes?
The snow globes, right? So I think of the mind like the snow globe, right? Throughout the days with things that are going on, our responsibilities, it's like a snow globe. You shake it, it's all you can't even see what's in there, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to kind of like set it down and let it settle. Same thing as letting your mind settle, so you can see the scenery, the beautiful scenery in that snow globe, right? Whether it's the Empire State Building or the Eiffel Tower, whatever it was, right? So that's how I think of mindfulness or just time for yourself is, right? So yeah.
Okay.
Let your mind settle.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. That was a good one. I can't really top that. I think ultimately, like, just be kind to yourself. Be kind to your mind and your body, and like your body will follow.
Now say it again, but say I. I will be. Yeah. I mean, we were talking about our future relationship with our mind and body. So, but yeah, that sounds great. Definitely. Yeah, I guess the conclusion is definitely the mind is maybe a little bit more important than the body sometimes when it comes to, even just giving you the willpower to do anything. But also definitely having your mind be kind to yourself as well, so that you can be properly motivated to do anything. I guess for myself, what would I add to this conversation? I think, this is a lot to unpack when we talk about mental health, and we'll definitely get to it as much as we can.
We can't wait, because I think that it's really helpful for people of any ages, right? For mental health, we are at different stage of life, and we kind of carry different responsibility, experiences, and our own baggage at that particular stage of life. So talking about it allows people, it's great that you mentioned about self-love, right? Don't talk negative, don't talk down to yourself. I've seen so many cases of that happening, that because of what we do here, maybe one or two person hear that and say, okay, maybe I should be nice to myself. Bring a positive word to replace a negative word. So by doing that, it's going to be a domino effect, and hopefully a person can reach out and help another person. So
sometimes it's about being conscious of those aspects of ourselves.
Yeah.
When you're kind of in the middle of it all, it feels like this is the only way, or maybe it's almost unrecognizable that this could be a serious problem.
Yeah,
it was just a norm.
Definitely. I agree. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, stay tuned to unpack more topics on Spill the Tea, among other segments we have on our podcast. Coming up, this has been the Community HOPEcast, and we're gonna call it a day now. You can find us on YouTube or Spotify, and our other socials at Give Us Hope OC on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.